It's perhaps been a while since you've caught up with our Liam. Well, if you remember, he passed his scout initiation with flying colors and was immediately thrown into the thick of a sea rat invasion on his village, Lilygrove. He made his way through the village and to the catacombs, where he bravely saved some locals from the rat's clutches. But then came Scumsnout. He was a nasty were-rat if ever there was one of Clooney's own commanders, sent to pillage the countryside before Clooney himself came for Redwall soon after, in the summer of the late Rose. Scumsnout and his sea rats wrought havoc on the little village, and Liam's betrothed Sophia was bitten by the monster's poisonous maw. Infection soon flared, but Liam had a mission first, straight from Captain Robin himself. Get to the Lilygrove lighthouse and light it. The light would warn the surrounding countryside of the attacks and call for much-needed reinforcements. Scumsnout chased him the whole way, but Liam was too crafty for him. He reached the lighthouse just in time, and as Scumsnout pursued him to the top, he was blinded by the lighthouse's beam, and his mighty tail knocked Liam off his feet and sent him falling out the window to a perilous fate.
Whoa! By George, Brother Jethro, you sure have put together a fantastic midsummer play. The rehearsal looked just magical.
Well, it would have been even more so had you waited to sneak a peek until its debut tomorrow night.
Can you blame us? We heard that music and we just had to take a look.
I do believe it be too tempting to ignore.
I can't wait to see the rest of it at the festival. If I'd known you were such a storyteller, Brother Jethro, I'd have come south sooner.
Well, Captain Barker, I'm only passing the tale along. I've heard you've got an exciting tale about Finn and Fiona.
Oh, Brother Jethro, if you keep letting the boy have his nightmares, never are my remedies going to work.
Nightmares?
Oh, I caught him in the library, grabbing at that spyglass of yours again. Might have cracked his noggin had I not gotten there in time.
I'm sorry, Grandfather. I just can't sleep. Mom and Dad keep fighting. And Liam, falling off the lighthouse. Grandfather, you never told me what happens next.
Well, William, your eyes could hardly stay open last night. I'd have been a terrible grandfather if I hadn't let you sleep.
But Scumsnout and Liam, he can't have been hurt. He's too important.
Oh, little William, you've grown quite fond of Liam, eh?
I mean, he's a great warrior, and now he fights so hard for Sophia. He reminds me of Dad.
Well?
I guess Jethro will have to finish the story then.
Yes, please.
All right, very well. Let's continue. But where were we exactly?
Liam was running away from Scumsnout. He'd been knocked out of the lighthouse. But he wasn't. Surely he didn't.
He'd saved Lilygrove with his courage. Remember, with the lighthouse lit, reinforcements throughout Mossflower would come to their aid. But his success came at a great price. Falling through the night air, Liam wondered if his journey to the dark forest was finally upon him. Luckily, Martin had more use for him yet.
Ouch! Oh, my head! Is that the sound of battle? But who's fighting the rats? The villagers fled!
The bloody? That suits you. Especially once I've got you on the end of my spear.
Hey! Don't you be trying to pull any tricks, Mercy. You'll have the wittiest rat of all.
And taking down the rest should be easy as lemon pie. How many toes have you got, rat?
Of course I got 10 toes. Who do you think you are, you Mercy? Come on!
Is that Liam Eagle Eye? I can't believe it! I thought no mouse could survive that fall.
I'm just as surprised as you are. I'm not dreaming, am I?
Not this time. Get your head together, Eagle Eye. We've got rats to defeat.
Why don't you run back to the sea while you still can?
Oh, never run from a mouse.
Very well, but I assure you, you're going to regret this.
Soon that
Thank you, Liam. I'm grateful to see you alive and well. And I'm sure Sophia will be too.
Is Sophia all right? Where is she?
Sophia's waiting for us at the dock. She's alive, but I fear her health is waning. There should only be a few vermin left now. Let's dispatch them quickly and meet up with Sophia as soon as possible.
I've seen toads with more skill than this lot.
Run back to your little mousey hole, you mousies. Why don't you just give up already, huh?
Not if we have anything to say about it.
Sounds like enough place to take a run.
I don't think so. Doesn't seem like
Why, thank you, Liam. Those two were giving us a run for our honey, that's for certain.
You two all right?
just fine and dandy. Well, I think you're making us senior scouts look bad, Liam. Going around saving the day for us.
Come on, you two. Robin said to meet up at the dock.
Her fever's getting worse, Liam. I fear we don't have the resources to help her here. But you've lit the lighthouse, and because of that, more defenders are being rallied from the woods. Well done!
Thank you, Captain Robin. But what are we going to do about Sophia? Scumsnout's still up on the lighthouse, and she seems to be getting worse by the second. We can't stay here.
No, you can't. That's why we've prepared the boat for you here. Take Sophia across the bay to Old Moss Creek. The creek is too rough to row, especially upriver, so you'll have to get out, find a path, and make your way to the Winsome Wraith.
The Winsome Wraith? But isn't that where...
Stoats, yes. One of whom is my oldest friend, and the best healer you'll ever meet on this side of Redwall. Find Vallow Scrimpaw. Tell him Robin sent you, and he'll help Sophia. I'm sure of it.
How are you feeling, Soph?
I'm all right, Liam. Thanks to you. You saved my life.
I'm quite certain you would have gotten yourself out of that sewer had I not stopped by. Likely would have slayed Scumsnout too.
Ha ha. Your optimism never does die, does it?
Not so long as I've got you here with me.
Well, it's just what I need. Let's head on whenever you're set, Liam. I actually think my shoulder might be feeling a bit better. Oh!
Please be careful, Sophia. Ready for an adventure, Soph?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Before you go, Liam, Freyby is ahead of you on his way to the Winsome Wraith as well.
Freyby? He's business with the stoats too?
He's carrying with him a special key known as the Tangram, but I fear the rats know about it. Or at least they know it could be valuable to them, and they're right. But we can't risk them finding it, which is why it must be delivered safely to the hand of Valo Scrimpaw. It'll be safe with him. Go now, then, and get Sophia to the Winsome Wraith.
Practicing your Scout's call?
Of course. I always found the Scout's whistle code to be the neatest thing as a dippet. Now I get to use it myself. Don't forget the rhyme. Once to follow, twice to come, thrice for danger, 4 times none.
How could I possibly forget? Freyby uses the whistle as often as he can, even to call us for supper. It's rather annoying, actually. So, how are you holding up, my love? How many whistles?
I'm fine. Why do you ask?
Soph.
What?
You don't have to hide from me. Remember?
Okay. I suppose I'm not completely fine. It's just this fever's got my head a bit dizzy and I'm worried about the dark forest and what we might find inside. Sorry, Liam, I just don't want to burden you.
Sophia, we are not going to die. And you couldn't be a burden if you tied yourself to my foot.
Well, thanks.
Liam had never seen his Sophia like this. He desperately wanted to make her feel better. But how? What could lift her spirits? He knew Sophia, above all else, cared about her community and her relationships. But she also found confidence in her own strength, to the point where it was difficult for her to admit her weaknesses. Perhaps this knowledge could help him find something encouraging to say.
We've got the skills we need to get you to the Wraith. It's going to be all right.
I suppose. I just feel so incapable, having been the one scout to get caught by Scumsnout. It's infuriating. I hope the others are doing all right. That monster's still in Lilygrove.
Don't worry. Surely the rats won't stay in Lilygrove long.
Yes, I suppose. And I suppose that we'll meet plenty of rats along our path.
I don't know. Perhaps we should create some kind of strategy.
And Freyby's all alone out there. He could be surrounded by rats as we speak.
Well, I'm certainly curious about this Tangram thingy.
And the stoats. Even if we could defeat a couple of rats, can we really take on even a single stoat?
I heard the Wraith is a wrecked ship they live on.
I hate that I have to be a burden to you and the other scouts. If it weren't for me, they'd have 2 more capable fighting mice to protect the village.
Are you kidding? You're the smartest mouse I know. Injured or not, I can't do this without you.
Maybe, maybe not. Whatever happens, I just look forward to this all being over. And then we can finally hold our wedding ceremony.
Her fever's getting worse, Liam. I fear we don't have the resources